You're watching a special autofocus presentation spotlighting the Driven to Serve CSR Awards presented to the members of the local auto industry by SPMJ, the Society of Philippine Motoring Journalists. And to continue, we'd like to give you now the highlights of the awards night held at the Ceremonial Hall of the Marriott Grand Ballroom of the Resorts World Manila.
The third category is environment. Many of the car companies chose to focus their CSR projects on environmental concerns. But in the end, the following companies took home the distinguished awards, but not after much discernment from the panel of judges. No one was able to completely satisfy the criteria for the Platinum Awards. Two companies, however, shared the Silver Award: Isuzu Philippines Corporation and Mitsubishi Motors Philippines. Isuzu Philippines' Awareness of the Environment campaign has several components. Through its environmental shows presented to children in Santa Rosa, Biñan, and Laguna de Bay, it sent a simple message to children to keep the environment clean. To help sustain the livelihood of fishermen, it donated tilapia fingerlings through the Laguna Lake Development Authority and donated a garbage trap to the Santa Rosa River to keep the lake clean. IPC built a 2-classroom building for the Biñan National High School and initiated a reforestation campaign with the planting of 100 Nara seedlings along the National Highway of Atimonan. IPC also initiated the Save the Mangroves campaign and the Isuzu Park Conservation campaign at the Luneta Park, Osmeña Park in Cebu, and the People's Park in Davao. IPC added watershed conservation to its advocacies as well as expansive tree planting activities in Mount Makiling and Ilagan Isabela. Mr. Hajime Kozo and Mr. Joseph Bautista received the award for Isuzu Philippines from Ms. Belle Alba and Mr. Brent Ko of SPMJ.
We received also a Silver Award in Environment for our annual environmental projects like tree planting and mangrove reforestry and so on. So we're very happy with this award because it just showed that as a corporation, we are a very socially responsible partner. It's part of our mission to be a responsible partner for the environment and for the community.
Mitsubishi Motors Philippines, also a silver awardee, chose to direct its efforts towards restoring a UNESCO-listed heritage site. Their Batad restoration project had Mitsubishi executives and employees volunteering towards restoring the world-famous Batad Rice Terraces in Ifugao, an endangered heritage site since 2001. It was hard physical work for the IPC volunteers who worked side by side with the locals until the walls at the edges of the rice terraces were completed. Mitsubishi left behind equipment to help the locals in the continuous rehabilitation of the rice terraces. By June 2012, the Batad Rice Terraces was officially removed from the UNESCO list of endangered heritage sites, thanks to the selfless efforts of Mitsubishi Philippines. The company also donated materials for the renovation of the Batad Elementary School, as well as teaching aids and materials. Ms. Nelda Gutierrez and Ms. Riza Escueta of Mitsubishi are shown here receiving the award on behalf of Mitsubishi from Ms. Belle Alba and Mr. Brent Ko. Toyota Motor Philippines took home the gold in the environment category for its massive reforestation efforts in Peñablanca in Cagayan Province. From 2007 to 2013, they revegetated 2,000 hectares of land, planted the seeds of forest protection in the communities, and developed the skills of locals to find livelihood in agroforestry. This is the Philippine Peñablanca Sustainable Reforestation Project, which aimed to restore the healthy river flow in the Cagayan River. With a $3 million donation in 2007, Toyota Motor Philippines initiated the project, later turning it over to the local community after 6 years in 2013. Over 100 community members were trained in forest protection and community forest guards were organized and deployed. TMPC continues to monitor the sustainable project for which it has gained the highest recognition. One of the awards is the Gold Level, the highest level achievable given by the climate community and biodiversity standards. Ms. Ruth Izon, Mr. Bobit Mamawal, Mr. Ronald Gaspar, Ms. Cristina Arevalo, Ms. Jade Season, and Attorney Romel Gutierrez received the award on behalf of Toyota Motor Philippines from Ms. Belle Alba and Mr. Brent Ko.
Peña Blanca Sustainable Reforestation Project. This is a project that we co-opted with Toyota Motor Corporation Japan. It started in 2007 up to 2013. It's a 6-year project, and we reforested 2,500 hectares in Sierra Madre, in Peña Blanca. And after the reforestation project, the ultimate objective was for the community to have a source of livelihood. And we were quite successful in that endeavor. Even after the project was turned over to the local government, there was continuous monitoring of how the community has done with the livelihood projects that we left with them.
And now for the fourth and final category, Community Development. No gold awardee was named for this category, but there were 2 silver awardees, Nissan Philippines Incorporated and Ford Philippines. Nissan Philippines chose to direct its CSR efforts towards providing shelter for underprivileged Filipino families. Partnering with Habitat for Humanity, Nissan Philippines donated 4.9 million pesos to build decent houses for homeless families. The company's Shelter Rebuild Drive in Oras, Eastern Samar gave hope to those badly hit by Typhoon Ruby. NPI distributed repair kits of carpentry tools and housing materials, while Nissan volunteers helped the locals rebuild their homes. Bistecville 5 in Quezon City was another recipient of the volunteer efforts of Nissan, while a non-profit home improvement store called Restore got a much-needed boost from Nissan with donations of a Nissan Navara pickup and a Nissan Irvine. Mr. Dax Avenido and Ms. Therese Sarmiento of Nissan is shown here receiving the award on behalf of the company from Mr. Ira Panganiban and Mr. Enigo Roses of SPMJ.
For Nissan, we have this partnership with Habitat for Humanity. It's a global partnership of Nissan. And here in the Philippines, last year, we donated house kits for disaster victims in Oras in Samar, wherein we gave them house kits to rebuild their houses after going through that disaster of Typhoon Ruby. And after 1 year, they were able to rebuild their houses because of that endeavor or that CSR effort that we've done.
Ford Philippines share the Silver Award with Nissan through its Operation Better World project, which aims to provide assistance to communities where they serve. With the onslaught of Super Typhoon Yolanda in Ormoc and Tanawan, Ford volunteers were able to identify a clean water source and set up a water catchment facility to provide clean water access to the villagers. Ford also built a common area for laundry and other household chores. Other organizations followed suit, but it was Ford's pioneering efforts that inspired this. Now, over 700 families have benefited from the communal water facility in 8 villages in Leyte. Ford Philippines volunteers have also worked with the American Chamber of Commerce and the Gawad Kalinga in building, repairing, or painting around 400 homes in GK villages and organized dental and medical missions to these villages. Mr. Lance Mosley and Ms. Josephine Gonzalez received the award on behalf of the company from Mr. Ira Panganiban and Mr. Enigo Roses.
And the Better World one is for the village of Leyte that we help bring clean, fresh drinking water to. So that was a project that we've started 3 years ago, and we're about to complete it. It's basically done at this point, and so it's just a really great project for us to try to help out that community.
And the Platinum Award for the Best CSR Project in Community Development was given to Toyota Motor Philippines Foundation with their big contribution to Agawad Kalinga Village in Barangay Pulong, Santa Cruz. TMPF donated 20 million pesos to build 160 socialized housing units, while the city of Santa Rosa donated 8,000 square meters of land for the project site. The Toyota Foundation also built and furnished a 4 million pesos multi-purpose hall for community engagements and livelihood seminars, with funds coming from the Toyota Classics, a regular concert project of the foundation. The Toyota City of Santa Rosa GK Village was turned over to the beneficiaries in 2013, a testament of Toyota Motor Philippines' commitment to give back to the community where they have set up business. Ms. Ruth Ison, Mr. Bobbitt Mamawal, Mr. Ronald Gaspar, Ms. Christina Arevalo, and Ms. Jade Season received the award on behalf of the company from Mr. Sergio Ortiz Luis, Chairman and Treasurer of Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
Toyota won the Community Awards Development specifically for our project of Toyota City of Santa Rosa Gawad Kalinga project, wherein we house 160 families in Santa Rosa, Laguna, and we did not only provide them with houses, we provide them also with livelihood, multi-purpose hall, and we are teaching them Toyota ways. So we are teaching them in terms of environment protection, safety and health, and even our Toyota manufacturing processes to inculcate with the residents.
The recipients of the 2017 Driven to Serve Award share the stage with the hard-working men and women of SPMJ and the distinguished panel of judges who all worked hard to make this, the first ever CSR Awards in the auto industry, a resounding success.
We shall take another break in this Autofocus special presentation that centers on the SPMJ Driven to Serve Awards held at the Marriott Grand Ballroom's Ceremonial Hall at the Resorts World Manila complex.